Hello everyone, welcome to the New Moon Connection, and I'm actually really excited to share with you a few secrets, a few ideas about the new moon of Aquarius, which is my personal new moon, and I'm excited to share with you how basically is the way or the proactive way to live life as an Aquarian, and how each one of you can take advantage of the Aquarian energy in this month. So first of all, the understanding, the basic understanding, is that the Aquarius is a very special sign. Actually, they like to think that they are the most special. And in fact, the Aquarians always think 50 years in advance. They're thinking about ways and ideas to go outside of the box. And if you want to do things, achieve things in your life, you need to think outside of the box. Because if you stay in the box, then you're going to be exactly the same person. If your business, the way you run your life with your family, it's inside the box, most chances things will go into a state of stagnation. And the Aquarius gift is to go outside of the normal realm of ideas, the normal way of thinking. Aquarius can actually be very rebellious, but it's not so good to be rebellious because you have to work within the system, on one hand. On the other hand, it's good to be a rebel because you don't accept the reality the way it is. The Rav was a rebel. The Rav, in the Rav's life, always thought about how can I bring Kabbalah to the masses, even though at the time when the Rav started, it was like a taboo. Yeah, you can't study Kabbalah unless you're religious, you're Orthodox, you're Jewish, and you have to be 40 years and more. And after you study the whole Torah. But now we know that the Rav went against the stream, because the Rav knew we live in the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is the whole generation of wisdom. It's called the generation of wisdom, the generation of knowledge. That is the complete reincarnation of the previous generation, which was the generation that left Egypt. The Israelites that left Egypt, that went to Mount Sinai, that they were facing the revelation of the 10 Commandments, which we know as they correspond to the 10 Sefirot, which were basically, they downloaded all the wisdom of Kabbalah and the Zohar back then. Those people that messed it up because they didn't appreciate what Moses gave them, those people that messed it up with the golden calf, and they didn't truly take advantage of their wisdom, we are those people. This generation is our generation. Surprisingly for some of you, but maybe not such a surprise, because we have so many things in common. You know, the Ari, Rav Isaac Luria, who lived in the 16th century, said that we start a new era. And this era is called the Age of Aquarius. It's the age that Kabbalah will no longer be a secret. Kabbalah will be well known to everyone. Now, last night we went to the Rav's cave, the Rav's resting place in Tzefat. And you know, we've all prayed for the resurrection of the dead, for immortality, for Mashiach, for Messiah to come about, and that there will be no more pain and suffering. And Karen said that the way the world looks today, it seems like it's going to happen real soon. And I think what Karen meant is that there's so much darkness, pain and suffering in the world, that it must be the right time. Because it says in the Zohar that at that time, the time of Messiah, the time that the resurrection of the dead will take place, and the final redemption will occur, it will be the time that there will be great darkness, war, pain and suffering around the world. So we must be in this era. We also know it's in the 6th millennium, which we are in the 6th millennium, Kabbalistically speaking. So we have the opportunity to live in the generation that can possibly, and have a really very good chance of bringing the final redemption. We have all the tools, we have the knowledge, we have the teachers that can help us get there. And the world is in major chaos. War, disease, terrorism, pain and suffering. We don't know what's going to be tomorrow. This is the reality that the Zohar speaks about. 2,000 years ago, when the Zohar was written, it referred to our time. And we can get the job done. The only question is how much pain and suffering the world will have to undergo until we get there. But we have all the indications. Everything is in place. All the pieces are in the exact place where they need to be for us to bring the final redemption. And this is the age of Aquarius, the era that we live in, the era that there is the greatest darkness, pain and suffering, and we know it is the darkest right before dawn. So we are right before dawn. And we need to take advantage of all the wisdom of Kabbalah and the Zohar to reach to this big picture goal of removal of pain and suffering in the world. This is in the big picture. And Aquarius are really good at the big picture, by the way. And it's so easy to just be in the small picture. All the small details and annoying things that are happening in my life, and to forget about the true goal. At the end of the day, if our goal as a humanity is to bring an end to pain and suffering, why am I dealing with all these, small issues and ego things and small desires that my ego wants to be respected, recognized, appreciated, temptations that are not even connected to the big picture. But if you remember the big picture, you need to remember what the Rav Ashlag said. Every single day, you can either destroy the world or build the world. When the world is standing on the scale, and you have sesame seeds here, and the exact amount of sesame seeds here, for the good part and the bad part, it's enough that you move one sesame seed from the good to the bad side, and the whole world is being destroyed. Or from the bad side to the good side, and then the whole world can be rebuilt. The whole world can come to a place of complete revelation of immortality. Each one of us can participate and needs to feel, I can destroy the world and I can build the world. It's up to me. This is an Aquarian kind of thinking. It's a big picture. Constantly having a big picture. Now, a few tips, besides the fact that we need to ask to always connect to the big picture, you need to make sure that, when you have ideas, don't think it's your ideas. And people need to take your ideas. And you need to express it and show people that you're right. Completely wrong. That's the Aquarius ego. You need to know that you are a channel for ideas. And whether people accept your ideas or not, it's their issue. But if you have an idea, you try to channel it, bring it to others, and if it's accepted, great. And if it's not accepted, it's also great. But it's not about your ideas. You can be a channel for big things to happen. For sure, absolutely. Another thing is not to be stubborn. Yes, sometimes, you believe in something, go with it. But oftentimes it's about listening to other people's opinions. That also count. You are smart, but maybe you're not the smartest because you don't have the whole picture. If you want to have the whole picture, you need to ask a few opinions, a few people, and then tune into the light and see what is the right thing to do. Aquarius are good communicators, so it's people that we need to listen to because they see, the bigger picture. And it's important to know that also in the 15th of the month, of this month, the full moon is the holiday for the trees. And we know that the trees have the power to go against gravity. They can go above the limitation of the physical reality, which gravity is all about the power of the physical matter, and the power of the physical matter that it's pulling you down. The bigger the physical matter, the bigger the gravity. That's why you have different planets like Jupiter, that it has 2.5 more gravity, power to the gravity, more of a G-force than the Earth, because the size is bigger. And the moon, you can just kind of float in the moon. Why? It has less gravity, less matter. So less matter, more elevation, more spirituality. More matter, less elevation, pulling you down. When I'm depressed, when I feel negative, when I feel heavy, that I can't move fast, and I just have too many thoughts and I'm being pulled down, it's the gravity, it's the 1%. But the power of dematerializing the matter, which is the power of this Tu B'Shvat, which is the 15th day of Shvat, which is the month of Aquarius, will give us the power to go, like the tree, go against gravity. Control the negative nature, control the gravity, to be able to fly, to remove all the limitations, to make breakthroughs. That's the time of Aquarius, and we can make it happen. We can fly if we want to, but we're so attached to the ground, to the physicality. We're so attached to the illusion. And there's one day of the year, the full moon of Aquarius, that we can go against the gravity, which is basically restriction. It's so hard to restrict. But if we ask for the power to restrict those things that are difficult for us to restrict, that it's impossible for us to say no, and even though we know we should, or sometimes it's to say yes for the things that we don't feel comfortable doing, that we know we should do, is to ask for the power to restrict. It's another gift within this month. The letters that control this month are Tzadik and Bet. Tzadik controls the constellation of Aquarius, and the Bet is controlling Saturn. If you use the combination of these letters in the new moon, and every day in the first line of the Ana Bekoach, we can manage to control the energy of this month, connect to the positive aspects of this month, and restrict the negative aspects. I'm wishing all of us an amazing light energy and prosperity, good health, protection, and much love for everyone. Have a miraculous month, and thank you for joining.